Welcome back, everybody, to Nerdcore Podcast number 366. And as always, is the podcast that reviews movies and talks that nerd shit. And it is the nerd you kind of here to host the show. Along my wonderful co-host, Young Yoda.
Sups up, everybody? Did you miss me? Do you want to hug and kiss me? Hey.
Or in the words of McLovin, what's up, gangsters?
What's up, gangsters? I mean, sorry I wasn't there for the DC show.
Man, yeah, it's okay. We'll get your thoughts right now.
I really hate that I wasn't there to hear when Mr. Chillzone said he hated DC much more than he liked Marvel.
And then he just continued on to what's it called? To just.
I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. Like I get it, Chillzone. You didn't have to go all like I hate DC. You didn't have to do that.
You listen to all the stuff he was talking about, man. He really hates.
Man, he just hates DC. I gotta admit, Aquaman was bad, but other than that, I've enjoyed pretty much everything DC's put out for the most part.
Yeah. So we missed you, man. So for those of you who are wondering, like, oh crap, why is this episode available to me? We missed a couple of episodes yesterday. Yesterday. I'm sorry, last week. So I just decided, hey, we're gonna do this for you guys early. So you guys get to be here with us, but of course the podcast episode goes up tomorrow. Patrons will be the only ones who can have it for like a couple of hours. But I thought, hey, let's go ahead and be nice and give it up for everybody. Occasionally we do this sometimes when we miss stuff, or just because for the hell of it, we're like, hey, let's just do it for everybody. But yeah, how are you doing, man?
Doing good. By the way, I got these. I want to show these off.
Yep. Yeah, you got them strapped on you for this weekend.
I mean, I got. Yeah. Look at this. All right, I got the cards, bro.
Yep.
I got the cards.
So much cards. Now you got cards to choose from, bro.
Hopefully they're not all doubles.
Yeah, hopefully it's not, bro. Hopefully it's not. But yeah, dude, I'm gonna go ahead and so you weren't here for last weekend, so for last episode, and obviously a lot of stuff dropped. So I'm gonna go ahead and do something we haven't done in a long time here. I want to cover news with you. I want to get your rundown.
News.
I want to get your rundown on stuff that you missed out on for DC fandom discussion last week.
Death by Snoo on the news.
So what did you think about all the stuff we got to see last week?
All right, name them off and I'll let you know.
I guess we'll just start with like the big ones, right? Wonder Woman 84 trailer.
I just watched that. I'm excited. It's going to be very interesting how that goes. And then I was surprised to see President Trump in the movie. Who knew? Who knew that he'd be on there telling everybody that he can give them whatever they want? I did not expect that.
Yeah. How'd you like the design of Cheetah? Of course, it's not the final one, right? But
I mean, at the ending, the CGI that looks like Cheetah from the animated version to me. So they got it at the end. So I mean, for origin part of it, like you can't have a villain that's like going to even be equate to Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. Like you're not going to have like the looks there. I'm sorry, you might be able to, but why would you? Like it's Wonder Woman. So we should be focused on Wonder Woman and not the villain, really, when it comes to like outfits and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So like you're just saying like, yeah, I was gonna like Cheetah, however they were gonna do
I think they present her in a way that she's kind of, she doesn't come from, a land of Amazon. She's not this beautiful thing, but she's gonna rip your throat out. That's what Cheetah I want.
Yeah. So what you've been thinking about the memes about it, where it's just like the part where Wonder Woman's like, oh no, Barbara, what did you do? And then they would put like different like the cats costumes or what's it called or just like regular like cats or stuff.
I mean, you gotta love the memes. You gotta love the memes whenever it comes out, even if you don't necessarily agree with them, because it proves the internet has not lost its creativity.
No, even in the midst of a pandemic, right?
Even in the midst of, they've upped the ante a few times with these memes. I mean, we keep using a few of them over and over.
Yeah. Anything else that was huge? I'm trying not to go into like a. Oh, for of course I have to ask you this. I mean, why you missed probably one of the biggest news of last week. What did you think about Ben Affleck? Is coming back for Batman.
I mean, depending on how that affects his mental health,
That's right.
that could be good or bad. But I love to see, like, I'll admit it, I was one of the loud ones in the very beginning. It was like, Ben Affleck can never be Batman, and he turned it around. He showed me that he really was. He's my second favorite Batman out of all of them. Yeah. I mean, that's not hard to beat a Val Kilmer or George Clooney, but up there with Michael Keaton is one of the best. Yeah. And then so I know he'll do justice for the role and everything. Pun there. But yeah, I think as long as Ben's okay mentally with it, I think we should be fine. And I know he'll put in a good performance.
Yeah, that's kind of what I said.
I mean, I really like the multiverse idea. So like they don't have to have this huge team anymore. It's just like now we can have just different teams. Like we'll bring Michael Keaton in, which I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see Michael Keaton hopefully back in the cowl, or who knows, maybe he'll be old Batman and like Batman and Terry kind of thing.
Yeah, I can't wait for that, man. I really do want to see what that's all about. I'm trying to think of anything else that I kind of forgot. I mean, because they really didn't say much in the Shazam, Aquaman panels. What's it called? Well, Juan did say that this next Aquaman would be a lot more serious and it would be more centered around the world that we see today.
I mean, I don't know if I want more serious from Aquaman. I thought the movie, like, some of the comedy parts just didn't hit. So I'd like to see better writing for it. But I feel like the overall Aquaman being kind of like the punk rock dude of the sea, I mean, that works. It's fucking Jason Momoa. So that works for me. But they got to get better on their CGI. They got to get better on their story and the writing for me to even have a chance of watching this. Yeah. I mean, in theaters at least.
We got to remember, Juan didn't write the script. I'm guessing he just gave the story. Yeah. He didn't actually get to write the script. So I'm hoping this time around, they let him in there, because we've seen when Juan writes, like, when he wrote Saw, when he wrote, Insidious, like his dialogue isn't like that. It's different.
It's different. But James Wan also directed Fast and Furious.
That's fine. That's right.
So he does have that experience with writing dialogue like that. So if he can meld those two together, I think we're going to have a pretty good movie. And going back to the dark aspects of Aquaman, I mean, probably my favorite scene in Aquaman was the trench scene.
Oh yeah, the trench.
Yeah, that was my favorite scene. So that was the darkest part of the fucking movie.
I'm sorry, it wasn't Fast 5. It was Furious 7.
Furious 7. They all look the fucking same, cars and rockets. And who knows? Submarines, tanks, whatever. Rock. I don't know. Jason Statham, giant sharks. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Ludacris in space. Who knows? Whatever.
Yep. But yeah, dude. What's it called? And of course, this. I don't want to really bring it up, man. The Snyder Cut. I mean, what?
I mean, from the trailer, like, I don't know. I want to know what's going to be different about this movie before I go all in on this and be like, this is so good. Like, I want to know what is going to be different. Like, I know we're getting Darkseid in this, but how much is Darkseid going to be? Is he going to be at the end like we all thought he was? Yeah. They made some improvements. Maybe they'll have more Cyborg in the scene in the movie. I don't know. I don't know. I want to see the cut before I go and unlike everyone else, slob on Zack Snob. I just I don't need to slob on Zack Snob right now.
Yeah, like I said, man, like everybody's kind of already decided that this is either great or it's terrible. And
I can't say. I mean, I personally liked the first Justice League. Oh, yeah. I mean, it wasn't the greatest fucking movie ever. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't hate it. Like, it wasn't one of the. It was cool seeing them all together.
Oh yeah,
and I think every fan who just liked the Justice League cartoon or even just superheroes teaming up together, they were going to like that movie.
Yeah.
in some form, even if it was pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, there's some of us who are kind of following the way that things should be, right? Where we don't really give out judgments until we see the film.
I will watch the 4 hours of Zack Snyder's movie, and
Yeah.
I will leave debate on the table. I liked Watchmen. I liked Man of Steel. Like,
Yeah.
I had no issue with Zack Snyder's films then. I don't see how I'll have any issues with this, but who knows?
Yeah. All right. Now, finally, the last one we'll talk about before we go ahead and get into the what's it called the review and what. By the way, guys, this hit 20 million views when it went up. This was the most watched trailer from DC fandom. Of course, Brad. What are your thoughts on Matt Reeves' The Batman trailer?
That's a watch. That's a buy right from the get go.
Yup. Can you believe it?
Pattinson is Batman, like we've been saying this whole time. Like, everybody else is thinking of Pattinson as the sparkly vampire, and we're thinking of Pattinson like in
Rover, Good Times,
all that. Like, we knew this was coming. We had already, like, we had watched all those movies, and we're like, yeah, Pattinson's gonna kill it, and he did. He is a young Batman. He is a young Bruce Wayne.
Did your hair stand up when you heard the riff for Something in the Way too?
Oh yeah. Just hearing Nirvana, I'm like, well, the fuck. I can't hate this trailer. I done played that. Yeah. And then they finally did the Riddler some service. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Jim Carrey as the Riddler. Jim Carrey did Jim Carrey as the Riddler. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This is how Riddler should be. Riddler is a crazy psychopathic serial killer. And he's leaving clues for Batman to come and find him. Mm-hmm. And not only that, but the way he's dressed,
I love it.
It's like Hush.
Exactly. So, I've had this feeling, Brad. I've had this feeling. If he's making a trilogy, it's got to be up to Hush.
I feel like it's leading to Hush, because Hush is going to take something from all this, or he's in behind the scenes helping it. But this is the Hush Riddler. That's what he looks like.
Yeah. And of course, he's completely unrecognizable, but Colin Farrell as
I mean that's gonna be interesting seeing the Penguin, because this to me is like they're all starting up. Like, this is from the very beginning of, or close to the beginning of, Batman.
Yeah.
Because Batman hasn't been running a town. The cops don't hate him. He's actually helping the cops. He actually is let in there to help the cops.
Yeah.
So
there's also a scene in there that looks like he's fighting with the cops, though.
Which could end up happening. I mean, we know Batman. He's not necessarily good or bad. He's
Batman.
Not
really a fan of the GCPD too.
Exactly. Only Gordon, really. I mean,
Gordon's the only one who. Yeah.
Really, it's only been Gordon and Barbara Gordon. That's about all that Batman's ever cared for, from maybe Bullock, but
yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, this movie is way more than I was expecting. Like, just the trailer wise, I wasn't expecting to get all this. Like, we get the villains, so they show the villains. You got the Riddler as the main villain, which, I mean, that in itself is a risk. I mean, Riddler is a popular villain, but the way they're doing it, who they have as the actor for it, Paul Dano, he's going to kill that role. Like he's the perfect role. Like, and Colin Farrell, unrecognizable, although the memes for that, terrific. The memes for that are terrific. I think we're going to be impressed by Colin Farrell as the Penguin. I think Matt Reeves is onto something. And I'm really hoping that if he does a trilogy, that third one is Hush.
I mean, dude, everything he was saying, man, just like, everything from that this is like a Batman who needs to understand and really has to come to terms with the mistakes he makes when he's starting up, and just, how the detective story is so ingrained there, that he said that he had never seen anything done with a detective side, and he was wanting to make this really grounded, like, type of noir movie. And it's just, when I heard Reeves speak on it, I was like, this guy, give him every single goddamn Batman movie he wants.
I mean, he gets it, because the Batman series is called, like, The Greatest Detective.
Detective Comics, yeah, Detective Comics.
The Detective Comics, like it's Batman. He's the greatest detective. Like that. Well, that's been the whole point of the comics, and it really feels like he's following the comics. We're gonna kind of get that Christopher Nolan darker kind of aspect to it, but I think he's going real dark. I mean, he literally has Batman in the trailer punching a guy, maybe to death. Yep. It could be. I don't know.
God, I love that line of "I'm vengeance." It's the what's it called? The callback to the '90s animated series.
Oh yeah. That's what it should have always been made. I mean, Burton didn't get to really make that because he was in the '90s. I don't even know if Burton could have made that because I do love Burton's movies.
Yeah, but even then, Burton's wasn't really showing the detective
side. No, it wasn't showing. Neither was Nolan's really here and there a little bit, but not really. I mean, I want to see. I want to see him like go and it's perfect. It's perfect the way they're thinking, the logic they're putting behind it of the Riddler leaving clues, little breadcrumbs, not clumps, whatever, to find him. He'll probably be setting up elaborate traps. There'll probably be a giant fucking penny. If there's not a giant penny, I'm going to be very surprised.
All right, well, it's safe to say that we are definitely watching this trailer every day before bed, like we're watching the Green Knight trailer.
Now we got two to look at.
Yeah, we got two to go look at. Everybody, please stay in your homes and stay safe because in 2021, if we don't get to see the Batman, we're gonna be mad.
I mean, I'm hoping they release it like on streaming at least. So, but then again, I'm just gonna change my garage into like a huge like theater of sorts, and then I'll invite all you.
Yeah. All right, man. So let's go ahead and get into this. I wanted to get that stuff from Brad because I've been wanting to hear from him because to me, it felt bad not being able to do the episode with him.
I mean, and yeah, that was kind of funny to hear Tony and Michelle fighting. And then Michelle gets on and calls all y'all her minions. And I get to my, her underlings or her minions or whatever. And I get to send in the little baby Yoda sipping his tea meme. And I'm just like, I'm just going to stand back here.
I wasn't here.
Not me.
All right. So if you've never seen Superbad, let's go ahead and let you guys know that there's going to be a lot of, spoilers here. You know, we're going to get some movie spoiled. So if you care about spoilers, stop listening. If you don't care, go ahead and keep going. But either way, your spoiler warning is in effect in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, man. Let's go ahead and get into this, Brad. Introduce them to Superbad 2007.
All right, coming from our main source, Wikipedia, Superbad is a 2007 American coming-of-age teen comedy film directed by Greg Mottola and produced by Judd Apatow. The film stars Jonah Hill and Michael Cera as Seth and Evan, two teenagers about to graduate high school. Before graduating, the boys want to party and lose their virginity, but their plan proves harder than expected. Written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, the script began development when they were 13 years old. What the hell is y'all's problem?
Why aren't y'all making
movies? Like, damn. 13 years old. Man, that's... I mean, I wonder if they just drew peanut... Anyway. And was loosely based on the experience in Grave 12 in Vancouver during the 1990s. The main characters have the same given names as two writers. Rogen was also initially intended to play Seth, but due to age and physical size, this was changed. And Hill went on to portray Seth, while Rogen portrayed the irresponsible Officer Michaels. Thank God. Opposite former Saturday Night Live star Bill Hader as Officer Slater. Thank God. Upon release, the film received positive reviews, with critics praising the dialogue and chemistry between the two leads. The film also proved financially successful, grossing $169 million on a $20 million budget. Damn. Since the film's release, it has garnered acclaim as one of the best comedies of 2000s, as one of the best high school movies of all time. You're damn right.
Yeah. Oh, man. Hold on. You can go first if you want.
What do you want me to say? This is like one of my favorite comedies of all time. It literally has some of the best dialogue from the very beginning. Like when he's talking about a vagina, how it just doesn't look right to him without having a penis inside it. Like it is like it's like my 15-year-old me keeps laughing at this movie, even as I get older and older and older. I don't know what else to say, but the chemistry between the characters in this, like the cast is just they were great. And yeah, the whole Seth Rogen writing this thing beforehand when he was 13,
Mm-hmm.
and then he gets so old he can't play himself. That in itself is hilarious. That in itself of I have this movie for myself, and he's like, well, I'm too fucking old. And then they give it to Jonah Hill, who like he was just hanging around, and they were like, yeah, Jonah could do it.
Mm-hmm.
But Jonah Hill, Michael Cera, I think their chemistry is the biggest part of this film. Without that, this film wouldn't work. Although I will say the two officers, Bill Hader, Seth Rogen,
This is the best damn.
I want a fucking movie just to that, just to them.
I want like just like a
I want like a comedy end of watch with them. That's what I want.
I just want to see them patrol the streets, man. I want to see them. If there's any two cops that I like in this world, it's definitely what's it called Rogan and what's it called and Hater as cops, bro. Just I just love how they're like it comes full circle and they're like, okay, well we're gonna arrest Foggy so that way we can make him look like a badass.
Yeah. I mean, and then just certain dialogue in this, like when they're at the liquor store and just that whole conversation between them and the clerk of what he looked like. He looked like you, and he points at him, and he goes, "What are you?" And she goes, "What are you?" And he's like, "I'm a cop." And there are moments in this where I just bust out laughing, and there are a lot of moments.
Yeah, and like I've said before, this is the movie with one of the most simplest concepts you could ever write, ever.
They're just trying to get liquor.
Teenagers trying to get beer
with a fake ID.
Trying to get liquor so they can go ahead and get laid. And what you do throughout the whole concept makes for a really, really good script that we got in this movie.
Well, and then it gets really deep. It goes into like their childhood where he's just drawing penises. And it's like, how do we get here? And it's like, I don't know, but this shit is funny.
And then even like the stuff like when they're at the party and when you're like, he doesn't actually want to sleep with the girl he's been trying to sleep with the whole time because he's drunk and it's just not right. And it's like,
it gets deep on some levels there. He's like, you would never get with me unless you were drunk. And it's just like, and then he's like, look at you and then look at me. And you're just going like every guy in the room's going, my heart.
Yeah, man. But of course it all works out in the end, right?
Well, he falls over, headbutts her, and then, leaves her with a pretty cool black eye.
Yeah. Yep. But God, man, I think this movie's great. It's hilarious. Just like you, I love Rogan and Hader as the cops. There's just something about Hader, like it was just the way his smile and the way he delivers some lines.
Just when he gets angry and he's delivering like when they catch McLovin in the bed, and he's going, McLovin! Oh, why'd you run away? And it's just like, this shit's funny. And McLovin just sitting there like, and you can tell he's just a little kid at that moment. He's just like,
what's going on? Flaming _ wings 77.
Hey, Flaming Wings.
Yeah, how you doing? Yeah.
And then so they keep the joke running, and the cops sit on the bed with him.
Yeah, and this is like, okay, man.
like this is pure comedy gold. Like every scene, like from the dancing with the woman who's not wearing panties, it's on her period, and he gets bloodstains on his pants. And then he's like, why are you holding my detergent? And just dry as ever. He goes, I have blood on my pants. It's just like,
oh man. And and like I was saying, like, $20 million budget for a comedy is kind of huge. You think about
that's a Judd Apatow though.
Yeah,
that is kind of in the frame of Judd Apatow.
Well, yeah, of course. And then what's it called? Excuse me. Apatow produces this. Of course, he's going to put a big budget in there.
I wonder what they spent $20 million on.
That's kind of what I want to know too, man. I want to know too.
I mean, because it's mostly them running around, going to house parties.
Mostly the actors, you would think. I'm doing well. Yeah, that's good to know.
I mean, but
you're doing well on the wings. What's going on, little cutie vert? We're talking about Superbad.
I mean, but I get like the Seth Rogen, the Bill Hader, but everyone else in this, it was like their start. Like, Jonah Hill, Michael Cera. I mean,
this is like one of the select amount of roles where like Sarah's just hilarious to me, and I like him throughout this whole movie.
I mean, Emma Stone was just kind of like gaining traction in this.
Yeah.
So it's Dave Franco was in this, like
Yeah.
in a bit scene, and it was one of those where I even texted you. I'm like, "Yo, Dave Franco."
Yeah. Before he decided to direct a movie.
I mean, you can't judge a guy for that. Like he had to give.
I know. I'm just
all bad. It's just the story.
Yeah, I love this movie. I think that there's so much laughter. I think that it's one of my favorite comedies of all time. Of course, I will say this. I don't think it's like this like perfect, because I think that everything that's there are a lot of movies have worked off of what this does, and have improved on a lot of parts, man. And but I still think this is such a timeless movie that I think you can watch it in 10 more years and you'll still just absolutely love the fuck out of it.
I think the whole thing that holds us together again is just all the actors and just how they play off each other, and it just works so well. Script, and the dialogue, I mean, it's and then even this might be one of Sarah's best roles in my opinion.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, this has to be. You just have a great script. You have actors who have such great chemistry with each other, and you have a director who's really doing a pretty damn good job. And it's something that I always get a laugh out of with it. It's just something that makes me laugh so much. I mean, it's a movie that you can throw on in the background, and it's like
that's pretty much it. Like I've seen this so many times, like. I don't really need to watch it because I know every fucking scene in this.
Yeah.
But cinematography wise, it's hard to really judge cinematography because let's face it, the only thing they were doing, they were running and they were at house parties.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get like the Nolan shots, planes going through the Antarctic mountains in this. You're gonna get like them going up an escalator in a mall. So
yeah. Also, I mean, 20 mil, at that time, 2007, you're getting. The cameras that you're using are like the greatest thing ever. And this, I will say, those shots at night when they're on like the basketball court with the cops, like they're pretty damn well lit, and I like that, dude. But I think that I think just that there's like movies that kind of improved on what this does, like the whole premise of the teenagers trying to get laid because they need to buy.
Which movies?
Off the top of my head, I can't name, but I know what's it called. If I could look at my letterbox and scan through, I could bring you up a couple of examples. But I think that that this is a movie that it's still a lot of fun, and it's still a really good movie to watch.
I mean, this is one of those, if you need a laugh, you just throw this on. I mean, it's going to be the only movie where you see Jonah Hill look at Emma Stone and go, coming. I mean, that's just funny.
And also, can't remember his name. Hold on, I gotta look him up right here, because this isn't even my favorite role with the guy who plays McLovin. Hold on, where is he? What's his name? What's it called? Christopher Mintz Plaze. Of course, that has to go to what's it called? Role Models. I can love him in Role Models.
Role Models. That's another one with Paul Rudd.
Yeah, just
so good.
I love that kid. Yeah, I love him in that movie, bro. He's so fucking funny in that movie. But also just like everybody in that film just kind of makes that's a movie that never fails to make me laugh my ass off, bro.
I mean, I didn't even know Danny McBride was in this movie.
I can you believe that what's it called? The guy who's playing him is in Promising Young Woman. It's like a really big dramatic film this year that hasn't been released yet. I really like to see how he does in a dramatic role. But God, I love him. I love him in this movie. I love him in Role Models, Kick Ass, and everything that he's been in. That I just love this act. I love the guy who plays McLovin, and he's oddly enough he's somebody who kind of really got into pop culture. He's a big part of pop culture. I mean, he's in a ton of rap songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's crazy, man. Yeah. How old are you, Brad?
Old enough to party.
Old enough to what? Party? Just that whole part when he gives us like McLovin. Who's McLovin? That's me. He goes, why the hell would you put your name as McLovin? Oh
And
man.
just some of the dream sequences they have of like him daydreaming of like when he's trying to steal the bottle and the security cop just slices his throat up with the vodka bottle.
Yeah.
You could tell this was literally started in writing by a 13-year-old because there are scenes in this.
Every 13-year-old has those ideas like, yo, they're gonna shoot the hell out of me. And like, the funny thing is that the cop doesn't give a shit, bro. He doesn't. He's just like,
security guard does not give one fuck. He's like,
yeah, it's too much time in my day. I've had a long ass day. The last thing I want to do is take away to ruin some kids for getting liquor.
Then when McLovin he spills the beer on the floor, and the poor dude is like, "Sir, did you make this mess?" He's like, "No, clean this up." And the dude's just like, "I hate my life," and you just feel for that guy at a time like this. You're like, "I get it, bro."
Yeah, I get it, but yeah. So Brad, you want to go ahead and go into the good old scoring?
I mean, I think I've given the last two movies a 10 out of 10. Why not go for a trifecta? 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I give this a really big 9.5 out of 10, man.
That's huge for you. That's huge for you in a comedy.
I love this. I'm just telling you, man. Like all of these actors, I've seen them in movies that are just better than this.
Well, of course. I mean, but you got to remember, how old is Jonah Hill in this? Like 18?
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying, like, once you go off the top of my head, I've seen movies that are much more better than this, but this is still a movie that's
possible. But as a comedy, it's kind of hard to tell. You're gonna have to show me. Like,
I said comedies, like I've seen comedies that are better than this. And
you have to tell me. I mean, like off top of my head, maybe Euro Trip, if that. But I don't even think Euro Trip is as good as this.
Yeah, but I still think it's probably one of the most notorious coming of age films. It's probably one of the best teenage films you'll ever see.
And it has Michael Cera. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like who would cast Michael Cera in anything?
Yeah, and
it'd still be good.
Yeah. So I love this movie, man. I'm not saying that. So like I think it's not the first time. What's it called? I mean, I can't remember when I gave Anchorman, but I'm sure Anchorman was like a 9.
It was up there, I'm sure.
It was up there, but yeah, no, it's just one of my favorite movies.
I mean, I appreciate this more than Anchorman, though.
God no, man! It's just Anchorman just has a sweet spot in my heart.
No. I mean, it's kind of like Talladega Nights for you.
Yeah. What's it called? Anchorman, just that part where the station director's talking about the girl, talking to the teacher, and about like I don't know how he found German porn, and he's that Anchorman's, all those movies are way better than this. But I will say, what's it called? This is definitely one of the most notorious coming of age films. This is one that you guys definitely should see if you're ever exploring the genre, because once again, this is one of the most simplest concepts you could ever write. And for you to get such a great script like this, I mean, kudos.
Starting at the age of 13.
13, bro. 13.
Like what the hell?
Yeah. So, you guys don't have any excuses. If you've got a script, especially for our young viewers who are probably listening to this, if you have a script idea, just start developing it.
Start writing something. Start
developing it. All right, man. So with that, it concludes our month of coming of age films. Unless you are on the Patreon, then Patreon supporters are going to get their review of Boyhood next week or this week. And of course, we are going to be in August. We are going to be continuing on with another theme month, and it is none other than our annual, because we have like months here where we do certain themes. October is always going to be horror month. We always have an annual an annual International Movie Month. So next month we have ourselves International Film Month, and on Saturday we'll be giving you guys our picks. But September will be devoted to international films. I'm already spoiling it for you guys. All of mine are from Asia because I need to knock some damn movies on my list.
And I haven't chosen mine yet, so
yeah, we'll do that right now after we're done here. So with that being said, my friends, I want to go ahead and thank you guys so much for stopping by. Little Cutie Vert, Flaming Wing 77. Thank you guys for being in the chat with us and chatting for just a bit. It's all good. We love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, make sure you go to nerdcore.com to check out all the wonderful stuff we got there. Articles, information about us, social media, whatever.
Yeah.
It is all there. Hold on.
Get it.
One moment, please.
Uno momento. Por favor.
I should have had a second water on me. But it's all good. And as always, make sure that you guys go ahead and check out the Patreon. Patreon supporters usually go get this a day early. What's it called? The stream. It's usually streamed earlier for them, but I wanted to be extra nice today and help you guys, and you just just being a little bit nicer today. But if you want the audio version for like a couple of hours before it goes live, make sure you're on Patreon, patreon.com/nerdcore. And we got to thank all our wonderful patrons, but especially our producers and our writers. I want to thank our associate producers, Cassie and Sarah. Thank you so much for being wonderful people and helping us, reach our goals within our podcast network here. Our executive producers, Shane and Grayson Barker. Grayson Barker, you can be found at Grayson Barker 98 on Instagram, Warlord 1 Bar on Twitter, and then Mr. Shane XSRK can be found where, Brad?
Our friend Shane can be found at twitch.tv/XSRK or on Twitter at XSRK_.
And then, of course, our writers, Brown Rice 96 on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, whatever. You can find him there as Brown Rice 96. He really did the great job having the one handle for everything. So the other one is, of course, our wonderful Tony at Real Nerdy Dad on Twitter, which we are going to be getting to our Earth Girls Are Easy reviews soon when we get a schedule down to see when we can record with him. But with that being said, it's been a wonderful time talking with you guys. I'm going to go ahead and send you guys the bread, but make sure you guys stay safe and go watch Superbad. Brad, send them out.
Raro, theme being host as always. Thank you to all our listeners out there, all our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you to everyone who joined us today on chat. Love you guys. And I guess to end this, just go watch Superbad, damn it. It's not that long. It's only 113 minutes. Y'all can afford that.
It's not that long at all.
Yeah. So do it. Do it. Young Yoda out.